Hello there, it's time for another basic science lesson. Now today we'll be talking about magnetism. We'll be looking at the concept of magnetism. Now our objective for this lesson is to help learners to define magnets and give a description of a natural occurring magnet, state the laws of magnetism, identify the poles of magnets and describe magnetic field, and finally to state how to care for magnets. Now, what is a magnet? What is a magnet? A magnet is a substance which attracts iron and steel towards itself, or we can say in other words that a magnet is a substance that produces magnetic field. Now, a substance is generally said to be magnetic if it is attracted by a magnet. Examples of magnetic materials are iron, cobalt, nickel, and certain alloys. Now you can see from the diagram here we have the various shapes of magnets. We have the U-shaped magnet, we have the bar magnet, we have the ring magnet, we have the horseshoe magnet. Now we also have ball magnet and other types of magnet, but these are just the shapes of magnets, types of magnets based on their shapes. Now let's look at lodestone, which is a naturally occurring magnet. Now a lodestone is a kind of rock, a natural magnet made up of magnetic iron 3 oxide. It is a weak magnet capable of exerting force of attraction on other small pieces of iron. Now moving ahead, we'll be looking at the various laws of magnetism. Now the first one we'll be considering is that a bar magnet suspended about its center in such a way as to swing freely in a horizontal plane always comes to rest with its axis pointing approximately north and south direction. That's the first law. And the second law, like or similar poles of magnets repel each other, but unlike or dissimilar poles attract each other. That is, a north pole will repel the north pole of another magnet, while the south and south pole will repel, but the north pole of a magnet attracts the south pole of another magnet. So these are the laws of magnetism. Now moving on to magnetic poles. What are magnetic poles? A bar magnet put in a place of iron filings attracts more filings to its end. These ends of the bar magnets where the iron filings concentrate are called the poles of the magnet. Now the pole of a magnet is the portion of the magnet where its magnetic attraction appears to be strongest. Now looking at this picture right here, it shows the poles of bar magnets and how they behave towards one another. Now looking right here, we have two dissimilar poles facing each other. They will attract one another. This is one of the laws of magnetism. Now you have north pole here facing the south pole. They will attract one another. Now in the case of this picture right here, you can see that we have two similar poles here facing one another. Now it shows that the two similar poles will repel one another. This right here shows one of the laws of magnetism. Now moving along, we'll be explaining the concept of magnetic field. Now what is a magnetic field? Now a magnetic field is the region of space around a magnet in which the influence of the magnet can be felt or detected, and that is what we call the magnetic field. Now this is a diagram of a magnetic field. You can see that the region around this magnet, you can see that we have iron filings. If you place this bar magnet into iron filing, it will give you this pattern showing the magnetic field, and diagrammatically you can see this is the magnetic field around here. It shows you the region where the magnetic force is felt. Now moving along, we'll be talking about how to care for magnets. In order to prevent a magnet losing its magnetization, magnets should not be dropped on the floor violently. They must not be banged up using a hammer. They must not be heated to high temperature. And magnets should be stored in pairs using keepers. That is, small pieces of soft iron pressed against the poles of a magnet to prevent self demagnetization. As you can see in the diagram here, this demonstrates how to care for a magnet, or what not to do to make a magnet be demagnetized. First, you don't drop it from a height as you see this boy do here. Second, you don't hit it with hard object like a hammer, and you don't apply heat to it. You will demagnetize it that way. So these are the things you don't do to take care of your magnet. Now this has brought us to the end of today's lesson. Now let's take a quick look at the summary. A magnet is a substance that produces magnetic field. The poles of a magnet is the portion of the magnet where its magnetic attraction appears to be the strongest. The region or space around the magnet in which the influence of the magnet can be felt or detected is called the magnetic field. Now steps must be carried out to ensure that the magnet does not lose its magnetic properties. Now we have come to the end of today's lesson. I want you to pause this video and go through the assessment, answer this question to see how much of the lessons you have imbibed. And I'll see you again next time. Bye bye.